was a best fit with the PLP.
So it is the PLP.
According to Andre Rollins, the philosophies of the NDP are close enough to the PLP that he would feel comfortable enough leaving your organization to join theirs.
You know, that's not quite what I heard. I heard Dr. Rollins say that the principles that he espoused ran into the realities. That's what I heard him say. Mm-hmm. And I heard him say that the principles that he withstood, that he felt aligned with, were not able to withstand those realities. And I think we ought to take very, very close note of that, what he said in that respect.
Is that the case, though, for you, that the realities of the Bahamas and of the political climate don't allow you to do the things that you want to do and to grow this party?
The point really that I sought to make by highlighting what he said in that respect is that whenever one's principles, when confronted with realities, do not stand, it speaks a lot, I believe, about those principles. It means, in fact, that they are not sufficiently anchored. Okay? And so one has to question, in fact, the strength of those principles.
Mm-hmm. You are certainly new to this aspect of the political game. Do you think your principles are anchored enough to withstand some of the realities that are going to face you very soon in this political game?
You know, I mean, the philosophy and the ideology of the NDP, for me, they speak to my very core. Mm-hmm. I'm not here because I want to be. I feel compelled to be here by virtue of the real dynamics on the ground on East Street, through Hay Street, the realities of what I'm experiencing, not only in my personal family extended life, but also when I drive through, when I'm encountering individuals and the stories that they tell me. I feel a genuine need to be here. I would prefer to be out making money. Mm-hmm. I'd prefer to be out growing my business. But I want to sound a call to all Bahamians of good conscience to become involved in this process, to get involved in a party like the NDP or in a civic organization to help heal this country. That is why I'm here. I'm here because not because I want to be, but I feel compelled to be here.
But as a part of the finance committee of the NDP, the realities of trying to keep an organization like this going in the face of party machinery like the FNM and the PLP, which have decades of election experiences and millions of dollars and huge donors and massive supporters, etc. All these things are behind these two engines that you are looking to stand up against. How do you continue to justify your existence in the face of almost overwhelming odds?
Yeah. You see, Jerome, the reality is that we're not called to perform miracles, okay? We are called to offer ourselves to serve our fellow men and to do the very best we can. At the end of the day, the Bahamian people will have to make a decision. Here we are saying to the Bahamian people that we have the heart, we have the passion, we have the desire, we have the competency to run this country, to make this a better country for all of us and for those who are yet to be born. That is what we are saying. Whether that is accepted or not, at the end of the day, we are not responsible for that, okay? And a man who is guided by his principles understands that. And he is not going to fall. He is not going to be deterred if those to whom he is seeking to sell himself do not believe that he is the right person, okay? He is not going to be deterred by that. And we will not be moved. It does not matter what the circumstances are. Now, having said that, we are confident that we will have the resources, that we will have the candidates, that we will have the support, because at the end of the day, we believe that Bahamians will look at this whole matter in a very dispassionate way, the majority of them, and they will make a decision that is in their interest. We believe that. We believe that the Bahamian people will have regard for the fact that the circumstances that prevail in our country today are the result of the work of the PLP and the FNM. And they will not want to return to that. That is what we believe.
I know that there were discussions that Mr. Renwood Wells had, and I think both, as well as Andrew Wallens, with the FNM and the PLP, and I know that the party voted overwhelmingly, according to your statement, against joining the PLP. But why not look at, for instance, Mr. Branville McCartney and his organization, and look at grouping, or a third-party group that could possibly champion your cause or make you a little stronger with more resources and more people?
You know, there are several things that need to be considered here. Firstly, we are eager to join with any entity that views the PLP and the FNM as not being a positive influence on the Bahamas. We're eager to do that, particularly if they espouse the fundamental principles that we believe in, such as democracy. Okay? As it relates specifically to Mr. McCartney, the fact of the matter is that he does not have a political party. Okay? To this point, he has said that. That reality notwithstanding, we have had conversations with Mr. McCartney. And the truth of the matter is that we approached those discussions in a very humble fashion, eager, as you suggested, to form a vibrant and a significant entity. We thought that made practical sense. But the truth is, Jerome, at the end of the day, we will not compromise our principles. That's the first point. The second point is that the NDP was not formed with the intention of simply merging with or becoming absorbed into another political party. Mr. McCartney and others are certainly free to join the NDP. And we are certainly open to having discussions with him or with anyone else, for that matter, who believes, as we do, that this country needs a new direction.
So they are free to join you, but you are not open to joining them?
No, that's not what I said. As a matter of fact, what I said is quite to the contrary. I indicated to you that we have had any number of discussions with them, and we approached those discussions with absolute humility, and unfortunately, to this point, they have not resulted in perhaps what many would like or expect.
What would you say, though, has been probably the issue that has kept that from happening? What has been the biggest thing?
You know, let me say that Mr. McCartney is a very strong personality. And I think Mr. McCartney has a lot to offer, as do the men that you're now interviewing and will interview later. There's no difference there. There's no difference in terms of competency. Indeed, the truth of the matter is that we have, as a political party, done more to impact the political discussion and dialogue, conversation, if you will, than Mr. McCartney, quite frankly. Okay? We have a history behind us. We have no issue with respect. I know some persons immediately go to the issue of leadership. Well, the reason why they're not coming together is because they want to lead. Well, the fact of the matter is we're not in this for that purpose. I mean, we have indicated on any number of occasions that we are here to serve. Okay? If a democratic context is created, where an individual, no matter who he or she is, if that individual is able to vie for the leadership of an entity, if persons are not being anointed and appointed, if the emphasis of the party is not on a single individual, but if it is grounded in a philosophy that we believe will inure to the benefit of the Bahamian people, that's what we're looking for. That is precisely what we are looking for. But let there be no doubt that the root of the NDP goes deeper than any party that it has recently been formed or that will be formed. Let there be no doubt about that. that we have history, we've gone through casualties, as you have mentioned, and we have emerged stronger. And I can tell you that having seen what we are doing, the Bahamian people are joining us in significant numbers, and we believe that this will continue. And we believe that at the end of the day, we will show the Bahamian people that we are a viable alternative to what we have today.
When people ask you what makes you different from the FNM, PLP, other groupings who've come along, and what makes you different from these men who started out with a cause and have sort of joined the bandwagon, what do you say to them, and what do you say to the Bahamian people who ask that endearing question as to what makes you different and why should I support and listen to you? What do you say to them?
We have a history that we can see clearly, and that is the 42 years that we've had majority rule in the Bahamas. We have any number of young people who are finishing university on a daily basis and coming out. Among them were ourselves at some point. We believe the essential problems that face this country are problem-solving issues. We have ideas that we think are fundamentally unique in terms of how we believe we should go through the process of solving those problems. We do not wish, and this is my mind, we do not wish for our ideas to be lost in the same systems that we've seen over the last 42 years. I would like to see some of those ideas come to the benefit of the Bahamian people. And so what makes us different is that we are energized with new ideas to make a difference in this country. And we want people of like minds to join us in accomplishing the goal of transforming the landscape of the Bahamas and the Bahamian economy.
Gentlemen, we are out of time for this segment. Of course, we have some other folks from your party we want to talk to, but certainly Lyndon Nairn, thank you very much for joining. Theophanis Kochina Magulas, thank you very much. Best of luck to you. I'm sure we'll be hearing lots more from you once the political season heats up. Best of luck to you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And thank you.
We are going to take a break in our program, but stay with us. Our discussion with members of the NDP will continue right after this break.
Want to join in on the discussion? Well, visit the Sawyer Report on Facebook and Twitter. Give us your views on the issues, get in on our discussion, or tell us what's happening in your community. You can send us emails at sawyerreport@live.com.
Welcome back to tonight's show. We are talking to executives of the National Development Party. Joining me for this segment, Mr. Roosevelt Forbes, he's the Deputy Chairman, as well as Mr. Kendall Smith, he's a member of the Executive Council. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
Why is it that you decided to stay with the NDP? 10 others, led by Renwood Wells, have decided to join the Progressive Liberal Party. Their own reasons they gave, decided to join a more established political entity. You decided to stay with the NDP. Why?
Well, when I joined the NDP, actually prior to joining the party, I asked a lot of questions. I was told that this party is about deepening our democracy, and I bought into that. I was told that this party is about empowering Bahamians. I bought into that. I was told that one of the main purposes outside of that for the establishment of this party was to rid this country of the governance of the PLP and the FNM. And I really bought into that. And as it stands now, this country is still governed by one of those entities. And so there really is no need for me to leave this party now and go to any of those entities. I mean, that would be like turning myself inside out, and that I cannot do.
Sure. Well, as for me, many may feel that wearing a suit and tie and being able to join two long words together out of the dictionary is all that's required to enact change. But in essence, it takes courage, it takes fortitude, it takes heart. You see, and it's within a man's nature to